Hello and welcome back to another round of Graviteam Tactics. And a new DLC was released, and this DLC has the title Furtive Spring, which is one of the first times in a long while that I had to look up an English word, because, I mean, furtive, who says that? Anyway, there's a whopping 10, I mean, technically 5, which operations which you can play from each side, but there's technically, I guess, 10 operations in this new DLC, which is pretty good. Most of them are relatively short, which I like, because I have to say the longer ones I'm not a gigantic fan of, especially for the purpose of video making. But yeah, they're all set near Kharkov from March 13th, 1942 to April 9th, all in the same area. And this is actually interesting because this is the first one, Federovka, and I think we're going to play that as the Ruskies. Historical units, yep. Now, yeah. Okay. And here we go. And this is actually kind of weird for me now, because I have made this exact area in Win SPWW2 in Steel Panthers of World War II, because I sometimes make scenarios or campaigns for that, and I made a big scenario series about Kharkov in May 1942, the second battle of Kharkov, so after this battle, and this was fought across the same area. Namely, in that operation, the Russians attacked from this village across the river here, up this hill, where they completely panicked, the Germans. The Russians were supported by Valentine tanks and Matilda tanks in that operation. The Germans had only like one 5-centimeter gun in support up here. The Germans ran back into this town or village, well, major village of Nepokretaya over here, which is half on the map here as well. And the Russians were in pursuit using their tanks, and the Germans then ambushed them using 10.5 centimeter howitzers and an anti-tank role, and stalked the tanks with these inside the village. So yeah, but okay, that's not about this battle. What is this battle about? Okay, let's read some attempts at English from the developer here. The plan of the 38th Army's March operation assumed encirclement and destruction of the enemy group in the Chuguev-Andreevka area southeast of Kharkov. For this purpose it was intended to deliver two converging concentric strikes, 38th Army from the north in the direction of Rogan and Chuguev, and from the south with the forces of 6th Army in the Andreevka area in the general direction to Chuguev. Yeah, they should hire somebody who... it always sounds so weird and stilted. Anyway, at the beginning of March, the operation developed quite successfully. 38th Army units crossed the... and then they used these shorthand, I guess the river, probably like a sidearm of the Donets, on a broad front. Liberated the settlements Stary Saltov, Verkny Saltov, Rubechnoye, Pisarevka, Petrovskoye, Bayrak, reached the river Babka. Again, that's not a whole sentence. In multiple locations. The enemy was retreating, abandoning weapons and vehicles. So this is the river Babka that they reached. 227th Rifle Division liberated Bayrak and reached Kupevaka, okay. 226th Rifle Division dislodged the 1st Battalion 514th Infantry Regiment units from Stary Saltov and conducts the attack. Here they start in the simple past and then simple present, in the Federovka direction. So that's what's happening right now, right? Not really, okay. 124th Rifle Division conducts combat from Molodovoye. 1051st Rifle Regiment, 300th Rifle Division captured the eastern outskirts of Bolshaya Babka. Okay, I don't think that's just all intro. That's not on this map, right? Okay, so now turn 1. 13th March 1942, 9 AM, turn 1. The 10th Tank Brigade units attacked in two divergent directions, which is probably not a good idea, but okay. On Fedorovka, Nepokretaya, one tank battalion without one company, and on Collective Farm, Peremoga, 2nd Tank Battalion and one company from 1st Battalion. supporting 226th Rifle Division and 227th Rifle Division units respectively. Combat mission. 1st Tank Battalion's 10th Tank Brigade without 1 company at 900 to concentrate on the western edge of the forest 4 kilometers west of Stary Saltov. That's here, or that's the forest, together with the assault force of infantry from a motorized rifle battalion, 1 company of the brigade, coordinating with 226th Rifle Division, attack at the northern outskirts of Farmstead Oktyabrski. Okay, so that's our plan here. Farmstead Oktyabrski is up here, and then there's Federovka down here. So we are supposed to attack from this forest in this direction. Alright, I will look at the actual gameplay map now, and then I will talk about the plan, what we're doing. Alright, here we are on the operational map in-game. Right now I only have 2 units under my control, and the rest of them will arrive next turn, which is kind of weird, because I'm supposed to attack this northern part, but apparently my infantry hasn't arrived yet. Let's look at what I have. Okay, brigade command with a sapper platoon, so I do have some infantry there. So there is that. Then here, 1st Tank Battalion is my main unit. I have Major Zedov in command, with just rifle command, and 1st Medium Tank Company. A command tank T-34, and then various marks of BT-5, very early cavalry type tank. And then I have a light tank company as well, with 2 T-34s again as command tanks, and the rest are various models of T-26. So a really kind of slapped together unit I have here, and an SMG company, which I will give reinforced support, an SMG company in support. So that's what I have to attack. Now normally I would wait for the riflemen to arrive, you know, like to support me. But since that is not possible, I guess, and this seems to be what happened in real life, I will attack here, advance. And these will march just to keep the command element up. Let's see what happens. To be honest, I don't think it's a great idea to attack from the march like that, but we will see. And here we have our battle. Okay, we will see each other on the 3D map. And I am on the 3D map. And whenever I play a new operation in this game, I always feel like mapping. Don't know why. Okay, so as you can see, it's March in Russia, so it looks really, really bleak. Really bleak. But I really like this type of terrain, as I said. Kind of makes me want to make an FH2 map like this. Okay, now I kind of had expected to not be able to place my troops in the beginning, but I can, okay, because I attacked basically off the march, so I thought they would be locked because that's a new mechanic, but apparently not. So, looking at this, I want to take this square here. I'm kind of glad that this is outside of the German deployment, because if I had heavy anti-tank guns or whatever up there, I'd be fucked. Because then I would have to attack towards that down a reverse slope here. Like this. Now, the obvious thing I'm seeing right now is this area. Because my instinct is to say, sneak the SMG guys through this depression so they can get close and then into the farmstead, while the tanks drive up here in Overwatch and pound the Germans, you know, from this ridge down into the farmstead from long range. That would be my thing. The second possibility would be to say, let's go through this depression here, but that's not quite as good, I think. And there could be German units up here. Question is, can I compartmentalize this a bit? Because there's very little cover here, obviously. Let's say I park my tanks up here and then drive them forward a bit to here. Then they're relatively covered from this whole position, right? Because there's this ridge line. Maybe I could leave one tank up here maybe to guard my flank. Okay, which can the Germans theoretically know? They can only take this area. Well, I guess they could move into this area and outflank me like that. But yeah, let's say I place the best tank platoon that I have here and leave the other in reserve and to maybe guard my flank. And then move the SMG platoon through into here. I should be able to take this, I think. I also have 4 tubes of 82 mil, sorry, that 1mm counts, 82 mil mortars in support in order to shell this, but it's only pre-planned, so I can't shift it after after it started, so I can't, give them more orders. But yeah, it's interesting. This is like the exact area that I made for Steel Panthers, and I also used satellite data to do that back then. And like, I know this area. It's funny. Okay, I will do the deployment and mull over my tactics a bit more. Alright, so I have deployed my forces. The BT-5s I will leave in reserve for now. What I will do first is I've deployed basically the whole SMG company over here. I called in some artillery pre-planned on this village with a smoke screen as well. That will take about at least like 15 minutes or something. My sappers are hidden away over here in case there's an enemy trying to flank like from here. In this case I will move the BT battalion over there to deal with that. But I don't want to really deal with that whole square at all, ideally. What I will do though is, as first orders, I will tell this SMG platoon here, these guys, I will tell them to slowly sneak into that gully down here. Which I of course can't, because that's really close to the map edge. But let's see. First order will be, let's look at this. An attack in one line. What is that? None. Column now, well of course it's a line. Normal spacing is okay. Maneuver, so they take cover, but no smoke, okay. And after that, wait, did that set the first order? And then after that I want them to use a covered move into here. Column, okay. Covertly, normal spacing, and fast, doesn't need to be fast. So normally I should see the orders now, right? Well, we will just see. Let's go. That's a creepy sounding everything. Let's see, tank engines, I think. Okay, they're forming up. Why did 3 minutes already pass? Well, who knows? I think I did it wrong. Maybe it's not CTRL that you have to hold, but Alt or something? because I think they're already doing the covert move now. But that's fine with me. Right, let's get rid of those objectives somehow. That's the wrong button. I should probably not press a lot of buttons here. Okay, now it's gone. We can deal with that later. Alright, I sorted out the orders. They will now advance until the start of the gully and then infiltrate through there. As soon as they're in the gully, I will probably already move the tanks up to at least this position here to give them fire support should the Jerrys appear in front of them. There's really a lot of unusual tank units that you have in this one. I mean, okay, T-34s, sure, but these are BT-5s, really early tanks of various marks. Then here we have T-26s, also early models, and some later ones. I think this is a later model. T-34s again, and one of those with a weird frame, you know, like a radio antenna, and even a really unusual one. Where do I have it? Here, like a twin-turreted one with machine guns, so that's pretty cool. Probably had to look quite a bit until they found an operation in 1942 where these were actually used, because that's not standard equipment by any means. Okay, slowly advancing. Once we make contact, I'll probably pop up here again. Artillery is going down and a flare went up that was not from our guys, and that came from over here. So apparently they're defending in front of the village, which is fine to me. I'll just move up the tanks then. Okay, tanks are preparing to advance. Problem is, if the Germans are really on this open field instead of in the village, then my attack probably just, or my mortars probably just shelled nothing. I also don't like why does the platoon HQ walk so far forward? That can't be right. They all started at the same time, so why do they and there's firing coming. Oh, there's the Germans. They are indeed in front of the village and firing at my SMG platoon, which is of course kind of in a bad spot here with their PPDs to fight at that range. But my tanks are also on the case, so there's that. No, my infiltration didn't go as planned, but at least we found the enemy. Oh, we do have some SVTs as well for the medium range combat. And we are causing some casualties on the Jerrys. And there goes my smoke screen, which I will never use. I hope that from my tanks, although I would kind of hope that they would hit better, but hell. Yeah, that's certainly machine gun fire from me. Alright. I probably should be mindful that the tanks don't completely outpace my infantry. Although I think the Germans so far... I mean, I did take some losses with the SMG guys, but the Germans had the worst of it so far. I wonder if that's still all my fire. Although it might be from the BTs that are... because the Germans are really close to my guys now, and that might lead to some friendly fire on the tanks here. Okay, the Germans are running. Okay. I don't like how my tanks are kind of turning their ass to the enemy village, to be honest. Although I guess I know why they're doing it. It's because they're surrounded by infantry that is hiding in these muddy fields here. Okay, my own infantry advancing here. Was that a canister round? Okay. I'm gonna leave the tanks in Overwatch here for now and just advance the infantry towards the objective area. Okay, maybe somebody can answer this for me, but why is my infantry not moving? I told them to move there, and the the platoon HQ and one squad is doing it, and the rest are just staying here and waiting. Can somebody tell me why that is the case? Like, move! I just want the whole platoon in one line next to the tanks. How hard can it be? Move! I don't get it. Is it like the hunt command in combat mission, and as soon as like firing starts they stop? But it's not a hunt command. I didn't tell them to cancel order or anything. So what the fuck? And I don't want to tell them like individually, okay, move there. They're not moving. What? Seriously, what am I doing wrong here? Move! How hard can it be? The fuck? Maybe just use the normal move command? Nope. Rooted to the fucking ground. Okay, I think it works now for some reason. Maybe they just needed a little pause. Anyway, I'm taking cover from the gully where I wanted to infiltrate. I'm taking fire from the gully, yeah. Okay, they seem to be forming up now. Don't know what was going wrong there. But okay, now I can finally... Whoa! Okay, yeah. Nope, the T-34 spots that and gets me some fire on there at some point. Yep, that seems like at least some machine gun fire is... Oh, there's ammunition stored here as well. Let's see. This seems like I could flank them with this platoon. Found more Germans here. Actually a whole new defensive line, or well, it's not really a line, is it? Whole new defensive grouping on a reverse slope here, which is scary for my infantry. I'm moving my tanks up a little bit. Oh, they have a heavy machine gun here as well. I hope I can get my tanks to shoot at that before my infantry gets completely mowed down. Oh, that was a good hit. Not on the machine gun nest, but close to it, and these guys seem suppressed. Nice. Okay. Now I only need to get those machine gunners over there that have been shooting earlier. My SMG dudes are getting closer. Okay, we're getting fire from the village now as well. I really need to get rid of these machine gun nests. Although they already seem to be a bit panicked at least. Okay, there's at least one other machine gun nest in this barn. I don't like the sound of that. Oh, my reserve troops are under attack here, huh? Oh, and we're taking casualties. No wait, those are Jerry's. Apparently a German scouting party did exactly what I thought they would. And attacked here. The problem is that they have long-range MG support. I think I will have to use my BT tanks to clear that up. Over here things are heating up. My infantry is advancing behind the tanks. Taking more long-range MG fire over there. From over there rather. And I'm not sure my tank can see that. And yeah, there's a lot of fire coming from the buildings as well. These guys are again standing around pointlessly for some reason. Move! Okay, we are in the gully here and we've taken out this machine gun nest that flanked us. Okay, I just missed it, but I think there was a direct hit on that building, which will hopefully have caused some German casualties. These guys in my flanking protection force have found more Germans, I think. Let's put the icons on for a sec. Well, they're certainly shooting at something and getting shot at too. The BT tanks are on their way to support them. Well, here we still have that machine gun nest here. The rest of the positions, however, seem to have been somewhat silenced. Okay, my BT tanks are on their way to clear up the Germans in this gully. And then I might... maybe I should actually do like a little scouting move into this unoccupied square here just to make sure the Germans don't get it. Seems like the Germans stumbled on my sappers here and got completely mowed down, but sadly I missed it. If this was combat mission, I could actually like rewind and watch what happened. Yeah, I only see dead Germans here. They must have basically walked into an ambush by my sappers. So whenever you don't look at the AI, they ambush the Germans on their own. If you look at them, they just stand in the middle of the field and like, what are we supposed to do? You know, like these assholes. Although I guess they're just cautiously advancing. I told them to go into the village here. There's a German machine gun nest in here. Okay, I think the tank spotted it. And I haven't. Okay, as long as you clear that up, I don't care. Okay, there's still Germans shooting at us, but now we're in submachine gun range. Well, I wouldn't call that submachine gun range, but as long as they want to shoot, let them shoot. Luckily we have a bunch of SVTs as well. We're taking heavy machine gun fire from positions near the river behind the village now, over here. Yep, we can actually see the ammo boxes lying here. And this is of course a problem. Now I have moved my tanks into positions. Nice. Where they can hopefully support my advance further. Yeah, I think we hit one of the gunners here. One thing that kind of annoys me, and again, maybe I'm misunderstanding the game, but these guys over here, they keep firing at something, but whenever I switch the icons on, I don't see, like, there's no icon that shows me what they're firing at, what they're seeing. So are there Germans here somewhere? Because I'm not gonna just scan the ground randomly for Germans. I mean, if they see them, then mark them with an icon and tell me what they're shooting at, so I can, like, do tactical stuff. I mean, for them, I know what they're shooting at. Down here, one of the machine gun nests. Okay, fair enough. But what is the infantry shooting at with their rifles? Ooh. That's an SS guy. Why is there a random SS guy with his infantry division? Okay, we are getting inside the village now with my infantry as well. Okay, we're starting to take quite a few casualties with our SMG troops here now. Because there's more and more kind of uncleared German positions in this hamlet. So I really need to put the tanks a bit closer. Oh, that was a nice direct hit, but this building is what I'm more after. Oh, close, close, close. Okay, now things are heating up here. BT tanks are also advancing. There's another signal going up. Maybe I should have been more careful with advancing the BTs on their own over here, because now we're getting mortar fire from, I'm guessing, Federovka over there. Oh no, that's landing in the hamlet as well. That mortar fire is probably coming, what's it called, as direct fire though, so maybe I can spot them and take them out. Okay, my tanks are popping smoke now because of the mortars. Shit, I think this one got a direct hit, the little tin can. I mean, mortar shouldn't do much to a tank, but these old ones, who knows? Okay, I just asked in the forum, and apparently the troops not moving might be because of them being exhausted, which, considering the terrain, makes sense. Although in that case it would probably be good to, like, communicate that to the player a bit better, because otherwise it just looks like they're standing in the open like idiots. I mean, they could at least, if they're exhausted and taking a break, they could at least, like, sit down or something, you know, like, to communicate the status of his troops to the player. Although I guess letzte geballte Ladung. I thought these were already cleared, to be honest. Okay, here are my non-exhausted troops who are in combat now. I hope I can get those mortars killed. Yeah, I think these are the mortar positions. I think we overran troops here, now my tanks are turning around. kind of annoying though, basically because my infantry is exhausted or whatever. Now my tanks are in the village without infantry support. And so this guy is apparently exhausted, so he just stands there? If I was exhausted I would at least sit down to take cover? I don't know. Maybe I've never been that exhausted before, that's actually very possible. That being said, the Germans have offered a ceasefire, which I'm not going to take, because obviously I'm kind of winning right now. And I hope I will force them to withdraw. Still would be better if I had my infantry with me. We're also shelling targets over in Federovka now. But other than that, Germans seem to be basically on the run. That's another SS guy. No way, it isn't. It's just a normal padded jacket. I lost one BT-5 tank, I'm not 100% sure how, but the crew did not make it out. Possibly by close assault with a geballte Ladung. Okay, I still hear German voices here. Okay, my infantry is inside the hamlet here, clearing out the Germans. Okay, they got this dude. Okay, these guys are inside the village now and can rest, and here we go. The Germans are starting to surrender, which is good. Although to me it looks like they're kind of going towards the German lines, so maybe that's some kind of trick. Yeah, that's annoying. I pulled back the BT platoon. Or tried to, but I think... they lost their tracks, didn't they? Shit. Yeah, I think when I moved them forward here, I made a big mistake. I basically moved them into an infantry force and they threw their bundled charges at them. Or maybe it was the mortars. The problem with this game is the game doesn't really communicate to you really what happened to the tank, so it's hard to make decisions based on that. These guys also getting mortared, and so far I don't see them. Although we are shelling the Germans in this part of the town as well. So this part of the hamlet still has Germans in it. I'm advancing my infantry in an effort to get them out of there. Germans, including some mortar crews, are putting up their hands. Nice. This is still annoying to me that I lost these two. I will have to look in the after action screen how exactly that happened. One tank here is still alive though. Oh, they're all coming out now. Nice. That is good. And those that don't come out still get shelled. Time should be up soon. Yeah, 1 minute left. Okay, and then the northern part of Federovka is hopefully mine. And then I hope I will get troops next that don't tire out so easily. Because it's really annoying how much of my infantry just like stayed in the middle of the field because they were tired, I guess. Well, that guy is not tired anymore, but yeah, these guys apparently just need a rest, so they stand upright in the field. I should do it like in combat mission, where when people are tired there, they can still like walk, but they just can't run anymore. But do at least that, you know. Okay, apparently there's overtime. Doesn't matter to me, more Germans we can capture maybe. And already soften up the defenses over here at Federovka. They did, by the way, try to sneak up this gully again, where my sappers are lying in wait. And I think I got a few more again, so that's pretty cool. I think that was one of the best decisions I made, is to actually place my sappers on that flank. Okay, and I've reached the Babka River. And I guess at some point I will have to cross it, which can get hard. Mixed up less suicide moves with the BT-5s. And here we go. Probably a draw again. No, total victory, amazing. Yeah, that makes sense. So, let's see. Let's look at the map first. Let's do it like that. Not return to operation. What do we have to do for that? View after battle statistics. Okay, here we go. So we did capture that which we wanted to capture. So that's good. Let's see what knocked out these two tanks. That's my first question of the day. 8 centimeter. Yeah, they got destroyed by the mortar. Okay. And here I can't see it. I think maybe... No, actually, that was hit by a normal rifle bullet, I guess. But you know, they do have some anti-tank rounds in there. Impact type. All fragments and shells. And blast wave. Oh god, this is so complicated. I just want to know what took them out. Like, I don't need to know how the game works. I just want to see what killed them, so I can make a tactical, informed decision next time. That would be so useful. Select displayed information. Well, yeah, that doesn't. Okay, I think that's filter all, right? Yeah, I think this one got knocked out by the mortar, I guess. Other than that, we did throw him out of here. So we had 18 casualties, 11 killed, 7 heavily wounded. That's actually pretty high, but they of course had more. 99 killed, 112 heavily wounded, 15 missing. That gave up in the end, 4 wounded. Lost vehicles, 2. They lost 7 vehicles? Did we knock out a bunch of trucks that I didn't notice? Or did they lose them in the sense that they left them on this territory and now they are ours? I mean, that could also be the case. Captured. Destroyed, captured. 4? Well, some were damaged, I guess. Okay. And here we have, yeah, most of the losses were with infantry, but also the tankers got some losses. Alright, let's go back to the operation. Battle group defeated, key point taken, nice. Okay, and they are exhausted. that makes sense. So next up, we will get a bunch of, what's it called? We will get a bunch of reinforcements and attack into here, I guess. See you then.